Okay, this is not going to be a little live, okay? This is not, okay? I am talking about everything that I have seen going on with this puffy, can I say situation? I mean, it's going down. It's the end. We're literally seeing the end of Diddy. And rightfully so. I can't believe I've seen some women trying to sympathize with him, saying, why come a black man when Donald Trump or somebody else is accused? Yeah, and they're on social media, and a lot of white people vilify their certain words I can't say. They're trash too, and they go to jail. Epstein went to jail. He was held accountable, and other white men by white people. But somehow with some of you out there, you feel a black man should be protected who is raping and beating up women. Oh, why y'all love to see a black man go down? No one wanted to see this. But we love to see the demons get dealt with. I like to see the demons get dealt with of all races. You know, when I see some women out there and men who feel like, well, you know, they shouldn't be held accountable, you're evil. Why do you have a problem with seeing black men who beat the hell out of women, rape women and men, be held accountable? Then you bring up, well, other white men, yeah, and they go to jail. They have a trial, just like him. I think it's disgusting, some people out there who want to protect black men at all costs, who would grape you, who would put something in your drink and grape you up your butt and your butthole bleeding and split open and your coochie with tears with their semen. Yeah, I'm getting graphic. Would you want that to happen to you or your child? Or even your son, because they do that to the boys too, some of them? I mean, seriously. So, okay, before we get into Diddy, I got to show something real quick. In my community section, right? Hold on for a second. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on, y'all. I got to close up. All right. Give me a second. Give baby a second. I'm coming. And hey, Hassan. Hey, Hassan. Biggie, Shorty, Strange and Unusual, Guilty Angel, Island Girl. The songs, I always say these are songs that I just stumble on. They're mashups, remixes, and I just save them. I don't know the exact name. It's a mashup of different artists together. Hey, Katina. Okay, so, okay. You know, I don't want this. Okay. All right. So let's get into Biggie. Before I even get into Puffy, look, I was a Biggie fan. I don't know all of Biggie's music, but I love Who the Fuck Is This 5 in the morning, crack of dawn and cold out my eye. Who's texting me and why? Damn, why they want to stick me for my paper? Damn, why they want to stick me for my paper? Come on, Warning. Come on. Sky's the Limit. Of course, one more chance. Biggie, give me one more chance. Come on, that's classic. Who didn't grow up seeing that? That's still to this day one of the most legendary songs. All the honeys, dummies, Playboy bunnies still getting money because they don't get anything but penetration. Okay, Lord, okay. But we know One More Chance by Biggie. Come on, Biggie was the biggest rapper in the world. But I didn't hear all his music. I was still little when he passed away, but I had grew up liking some of his songs, but I didn't hear everything. So there was someone who had on social media, he had a song where he insinuated that he F's children, Okay, thank you, Adrian Dunn. And I was like, hold on, what do you mean? So I looked up the lyrics of one of his songs and I posted it in my community section. And I actually posted it on TikTok and someone said, how do you know Biggie just wasn't talking about one of his friends and you are jumping to conclusions about Biggie? So then someone in my community section said, check out his song called Wrong. I said, okay. So look, his song Biggie is called What's Beef. He said, see me in the street, your jewelry, you can keep it. It'll be our little secret. Okay. Mother effer's still in my biz. Don't he know my in gutter? My inner gutter? Effing kidnap kids. F them in the A's, the A, and throw them over the bridge. That's the line in Biggie's song, What's Beef? Don't you know my N-word, my dude, my homie, gutter? Effing kidnap kids. F them up the A, the anal, and then throw them over the bridge. That's how it is. My S is laid out. Someone said that reportedly his friend Gutta was really upset with these lyrics. I don't know that to be true. So someone said, oh, Cerebral, you're jumping to conclusions. Biggie ain't talking about effing no children. So someone told me, check out his song called Didn't Wrong. Certain words you can't say. Wrong. You see it on the screen. I said, okay, this is a song, it says right here, about grape, unaliving, and pedophilia. Okay? So, all right. It says perfect for an Eminem feature. He says slit the wrist of little sis after she S the D. I did something to her brother with an ice pick because he wanted me to F him from the back. But Smalls don't get down like that. I found your father hiding in the room and I F'd him with the broom. Sit him down in the back and threw salt in the wound. Who you think you dealing with? Ain't nobody stepping my path, effing feeling it. Hardcore. I get sucked like a pea. I'll serve you like till you're gushy, so please don't push me. I'm using rubbers so they don't trace the semen. The black demon got the little hooker screaming. Now at the very end, it says, because you know how I love it. Young, fresh, and green with no hair in between. You know what I mean? Who doesn't typically grow vaginal hair? Well, before you hit puberty, you typically don't have vagina hair. And you typically hit puberty around 12 or 13. So he's insinuating he wants it before puberty, like 9, 10, 11. Because you know how I love it. Young, fresh, and green with no hair in between. You know what I mean? So, baby, you can't say nothing to me. I know what you mean. We can read between the lines, Biggie, that you like it under 12 years old. We get it. So he can rot in hell. And I hate to have said that because I'm not going to say that if I hear, Biggie, give me one more chance. I mean, I'm not going to lie in front that I didn't grow up loving the hell out that song and Warning. But now I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. And he was only, 20, 22, 23, 24 when he passed away? In his early 20s talking about I like it young and fresh with no hair in between? Disgusting. Disgusting. And I don't care when people say, well, rappers, they come up with anything. They say anything, for a lyric. I don't get down or support men talking about effing fathers and little sisters with broomsticks up the butt and beating the hell out of women and prostitutes, which is in his song. And I like it young and green with no hair in between. I like a little baby to F. No, absolutely not. So now with that said, listen, I didn't know where to start. Baby, because now let's get into Diddy. There is a new victim and people still want to say, why they wait so long? Hold on. People will say, why the victims waiting so long? Oh, they want the money, the victims. Yeah, get that damn money. Yeah, I'm going to get the money after you grape me up my butt, had my butthole bleeding, had me screaming, humiliating me on camera, video recording it and showing it to men. Yeah. Not only that, but don't people understand something? See, you can't put yourself in somebody's situation where you getting raped by a man that's close to a billionaire, a powerful man. You don't think these victims are like, I'm scared. This man can hire a hitman to take me out next week. That's facts. Okay, people think it's so easy for victims to come forward. It's not, especially when you dealing with powerful people that know where you live, who have your address, who know your friends and family, that can hire people to take you out within a week. who are more powerful. There have been plenty of cases historically of people coming forward about being raped and they lose the case because they're nowhere as powerful with the connections of men who have the money. You know, and I think a lot of them feel safe now. He's in jail. The victims can come forward. Now I can tell my truth. Maybe somebody might take me seriously now. And I'm gonna play what she said. I hope you can hear what she says. I'm gonna play it. And then there are people like, you know, of course, she had a lot of people have sympathy for her and supporting her. And then some people like 23 years later, with what I heard would happen to her, no woman would forget waking up with two men on top of you, effing the crap out of you, raping you up your butt and your vagina. You know how painful that probably was? You know how painful? See, men can't often imagine because they're not the ones who get penetrated. They don't know what that feels like. And I'm not saying that it's always painful. If it can be a little bit, but not all, you know, ladies, we already know, not all the time. But yeah, someone who might not even be used to having anal, and you wake up and there's two men going all up in there, tearing you open, busting it open, you bleeding and stuff, and then shoving it down your throat and recording it. Please, you don't get over nothing like that. And she says she's still suffering physically in her genital areas from it. Okay, let's get into it.
It's sometimes so hard to leave my house. The trauma of the assault has taken a toll on my mental health. I've had PTSD, depression, and anxiety. I'm emotionally scarred. It has been hard for me to trust others, to form healthy relationships, or even feel safe in my own skin. Flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive thoughts.
I'm live.
Make me feel like it's a constant struggle.
I am live right now. Hold on.
I also suffer with physical problems such as chronic pain, sexual discomfort. The violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body, causing ongoing health problems and complications. The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break.
Hold on, y'all might have, excuse me. Sports Actuary said, how is it possible for two men to be in a woman that way? It's called taking turns. I didn't say they were in her at the same time. They took turns on her.
I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing.
Okay, the volume for some reason is very low, but basically she's saying that she can't have relationships. She still has PTSD, that she still has physical trauma, aka her butt is still not the same after what happened, that he recorded it and then he showed it to other men within the industry. She was the girlfriend of somebody who worked at his company. Now, I have to still say alleged, even though she's come forward with Gloria Aldred. And she said, basically, she was the girlfriend of somebody who worked for the company. He did not like him. So they had her come over and she drank something and something was in the drink. When she woke up, she was bound and gagged. And Diddy and this other guy, I think I know who she's talking about, were both taking turns on her from her coochie and her booty and putting it in her mouth. And they threatened her for years with they will take her life. And they showed it, I think, to her boyfriend and to other men within the industry. So, okay. All right. So because you couldn't probably hear everything, that's something that happened. So now let's get into it. I'm going to play some clips and everything. All right. Get those likes up if you can. But yeah, no woman forgets a grape, number one, because You just don't. It's the worst thing a man could do. You're being completely violated, your legs forced open, him in you. You have the thought of, oh my God, did he give me something? Could I get pregnant? Again, getting tears and stuff like that, especially if they grape you up your butt. You don't never forget nothing like that, especially when you don't even like that and it's painful. And someone shoving it in your mouth. You don't get over nothing like that. And knowing that other people seen the video, man, I want to hire somebody to take him out. But he's way more powerful. So that's what's happening with that. Okay, so let's go from what we've seen the other week when this really went down.
As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15s. This is a close-up shot of one of the AR-15s, and you can see right here, the serial number has been thoroughly defaced. Another picture of more ammunition and parts of 2 AR-15s right there. Now, I want to be clear about 2 things. First, this office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be. No one should doubt our commitment on that. A year ago, Sean Combs stood in Times Square and was handed a key to New York City. Today, he's been indicted and will face justice in the Southern District of New York. Second, we are not done. This investigation is ongoing, and I encourage anyone with information about this case to come forward and to do it quickly.
Okay, so they're saying we are not done. So at first I'm like, okay, they said that celebrities are not off limits. And I feel like, well, we know that this is not about having an orgy, because it's not a crime to have an orgy. You know, I've seen people making videos about who's been sleeping with whom. Grown people can sleep with whoever they want to sleep with as long as it's consensual. If they want to have an orgy, they can have an orgy. You can't lock someone up for having orgies. But it's not about an orgy. It's about trafficking, you know what? That's the big thing that people are saying, where they're underage children in these freak-offs. Okay? 1,000 bottles of baby oil, lubrication, and I even heard they found male you know what's up in there. And you know what that's being used for. So other people are like, well, what's the baby oil for? Because you're not even supposed to use baby oil as lubricant. It will tear up a condom and give a woman an infection and give your booty hole an infection. You don't put that up your butt. But then they found lubrication. So you can, I mean, seriously? And how safe is putting lube up your booty hole too? I mean, can't that irritate and give your butthole an infection? I don't know, but they found all of that. And that was something that was said, is that he has those type of things, and they found that. So now they're probably looking for the videos to see, is it true? And are there little children, underage people, children, adults in these videos, and a lot more. Okay. So give me a second. All right. So, All right, so it says that the assistant U.S. attorney reveals there are more text messages sent to Diddy by his female victims. One person said, I think this was Cassie, but I'm not sure. I am not a rag doll. I am somebody's child. I am not a rag doll. The way he puts hands on women. I am somebody's child. Okay? Let's see. Give me a second. I turned my head. These are the text messages sent to him. I turned my head for a second and you get effed up and you drag me down the hall by my hair. I have bleeding cuts. You hit me in the head 2 good times. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. I feel like I'm reading, 3 days after Cassie sued, another woman allegedly texted and said, I feel like I'm reading my own sexual trauma. It makes me sick how 3 solid pages, word for word, is exactly of my experiences with him and my anguish. All right, it says, the assistant U.S. attorney reveals the content of the text messages Diddy sent Cassie after he put hands on her in 2016. Call me. Call the cops. The cops are here. I got 6 kids, yo. Please call. I'm surrounded. You gonna abandon me all alone? After I whoop your butt all the time? What? I got kids. I can't imagine what his daughters are thinking right now. I would be so ashamed and humiliated if I was finding all this stuff out we're seeing going on with P. Diddy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it says, how much time is he possibly facing for each charge in the indictment? Racketeering, life in prison. SEX trafficking, maximum life in prison, the minimum 15 years. Number 3, transportation for prostitution, maximum of 10 years in prison. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with the racketeering stuff, but it's going down. You know, the chickens are coming home to roost. People heard things for years, but it's just so much as being confirmed, especially that he's bisexual. I mean, this is just everyone pretty much knows that at this point, and it's not a crime if he wants to be open with it, but I think he's maybe open with it with certain people. But then again, I've heard certain things like he don't care. He has these parties and all this stuff. And, you know, other people within the industry, I heard that he allegedly blackballs people and records stuff so that you can't say anything once you're on camera getting graped up your butt by him. All types of stuff. So this is something else that I saw. I'm showing you everything that I've been seeing. The Game, I don't have the video, but you can look it up. It says The Game, the rapper, he confirms that P. Diddy was attempting to set up Drake to be unalived in L.A. It says he said this. He said that he was attempting to set him up to be unalived. I think this is totally possible because, hey, Aqua, we hear what he allegedly did to Biggie. The demon Biggie. That he took him out for a life insurance policy or something like that. And they do that in the industry, allegedly. And now the Game is saying that, hey, allegedly, Diddy is trying to take out Drake too. So, okay.
That man shot me in my face. And I watched Puffy do it. Had they taken heed and they knew I wasn't lying, everybody knew I was not lying. But because he had power, prestige, fame, money, and access to the people that have even more power than him, they let him walk. Because their agenda had to be carried out by him. So they let him walk. But guess what? If somebody listened to me, perhaps Cassie would have never had to endure, and all those other people that died under alleged suspicious causes at his hand would not have had to endure if he was held into account for what he did to me 24 years ago. Let me just say something about Shyne too, because I said on my TikTok, Shyne did not shoot me because he didn't. But Shyne is a con artist. Let me just put that right out here now. Everybody's like, oh, we know Shyne was innocent. No, you don't know a daggone thing because he's far from innocent. Shyne said vehemently on the Combat Jack podcast, and I have a clip I will send to you. He said Natania Reuben is my friend. I'm sorry she got hit. It was foul because we used to go to the studio with her and everything was everything. She my friend. So we don't know if my gun hit her with the ricochet because it was 4 guns in the club. We don't know. But I'm sorry it was her because that's my friend. When you listen back to it, you're going to be awestruck at how almost verbatim I just said that. Trust me, I've played it over in my head a million times. It's the #1 question I've been asked for 24 years. Did they apologize to you? I'm always awestruck when people ask that. I'm like, apologize? People that's guilty don't apologize. That man shot me in my face.
Okay, I believe him. She's been saying it since it happened that Diddy was the one. Did he, when they were in the club, I think that the way it happened, he just was reckless. I don't think he sought her out to just get her in the face. I think he was drunk or maybe not drunk, pulled out the gun and just shot everywhere. And she ended up getting hit in the face. And Shyne was the one who took the fall for it. I used to wonder, did Puffy give Shyne some money after he got out of jail to make up for what he did to that man? We will never know. J-Lo, people are saying, come and get J-Lo. What are you going to arrest her for? She's not the one who did it. Diddy, allegedly, I still have to say, did that. What are you going to arrest her for? She got up out of there and ended that relationship soon after that. It was bad for her career. She didn't want to be tied to them thugs. Too dangerous, and Diddy probably was abusing her in some way too. Maybe not as bad because he might have more to lose because she's a big star. You know what I'm saying? Some men pick and choose who to put hands on. But, I mean, he might have told her to hold the gun, though, the same way he did that to Cassie. So, okay. Oh, my goodness gracious. So, whew, that's one thing. She's saying even to this day right now, Diddy was the one who did it. I don't know if he'll get charged because it happened a long time ago and he was let off the hook. She said because he got money and power and he did that to me. Okay.
18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me. And
hold on in the chat. Collard greens? You said white men like children, black men like grown women who can make things happen for themselves. That's a damn lie. Black men grape plenty of children. You don't watch the news? Even in black women's families, they have uncles and cousins who touched on them. What are you talking about? Black men are not open with it as much. They F children too. And, 13, 14 is still not an adult. They F them too. And younger. I mean, you can't be serious. Okay. Maybe I'm reading something wrong in the chat, but plenty of black men grape children. Yes, they do. And we see it on the news every month. Little girls, 7 and stuff. Please, I know you ain't serious. Just because white people will throw their own in jail, as they should, into the public for this disgusting type of stuff doesn't mean that black men don't practice the same thing. See, black women got a problem. I was just telling someone this the other day. Black women got a big problem, a lot of black women, at the realization that your men are just as filthy and sick as any other man in the whole world. That's why when they get exposed, oh, this is embarrassing. Oh my God, no. What about Weinstein? What about Trump? What about, so what? So what? Yeah, and yours too. Lock them all up who hurt women. And I don't know if Trump did. I'm just saying, y'all bring him up, or Weinstein and all these other people, Lansky's and all this stuff. I'm like, okay. And what that got to do with yours? Yours is just as disgusting. Y'all have a big problem that, hey, he's just a human like all the other men and is flawed too. He's not above anything because he's black. Y'all just want the black man to not go to jail, some of you, for the same crimes. because you protect him like a sick woman. Y'all don't want to know that he's just as evil. I mean, hell, the African men gave you away in slavery, your ancestors. I mean, how much more proof do you need on certain stuff? So it's just weird. It's just weird. Okay. Hold on, collard greens. The Diddy indictment didn't say children. Underage means children. If you're not over 18, some people say, well, 16 got sense. It doesn't matter. You're not, under the law, you're not an adult. When they say underage, that's code word, that means children. The whole point of this trial is to see if he's been trafficking children, a number of it, or other women who are being trafficked maybe by a pimp or something, and he's buying them up. We don't know. Okay.
He contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave, I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, I saw
and
you
that
spent a birthday with him once.
I
saw a birthday cake.
went again to do a
Collard greens, you said that's not the point. Children are not in the indictment. You don't have all the details. You think they're going to tell the whole public what they found in that house? Plus, they're looking at the freak off tapes to see what's going on. At the end of the day, why are you going hard for a man that beats the hell out of women, that broke Kim Porter's nose, that supposedly blackmails people with tapes going up their butts and stuff? Why are you trying to defend something like that?
Event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, you know, he and I were bombali. This is someone that destroyed my life, but do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I am different than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed. No one needs to suffer for me.
In your at the height of your professional relationship, or thereafter through the reconciliation, when he was an instrumental part of promoting you through world media, were you aware of these freak off events, and were you aware of them? Did you have any participation in them?
Oh my goodness, Jules Vasquez. Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of them?
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of the freak offs?
Sir, I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level. This was...
Okay, so Shyne is saying, yes, I took the fall. He ruined my life. We're not friends. Look, I don't know. Someone said that he's a liar too. Who knows? I always wondered if Puffy paid him after he got out of prison for that. And people are like, where is this accent coming from? We know he's from Belize, but when he was rapping, you know, he had that voice, some bad mother, well, sounding like Biggie. So they're like, hold on, where's this accent? He got this accent now. Did he have the accent the whole time? Because when he was talking, he had that thick old voice. You know what I'm saying? I'm Shyne, homie. I write from New York. I write, you know. So now it's like, what is this? So Shyne said what he said. Now we have Al B. Shore, the late Kim Porter's ex-husband, baby dad, ex-husband to her son Quincy. I'll Be Sure has called again for a further investigation into an entire group of individuals who worked around Kim Porter's residence. It's been said that allegedly she was taken out by P. Diddy. She was working on a tell-all book, about all the things she had to go through and what she saw, the abuse. We know that he allegedly broke her nose on a yacht, which was in an article, an actual news article. And then she said that she fell. That's how she got her nose broken. Please, no, we know. No. So he wants a further investigation. All right. So this is what I'll Be Sure said. For over a decade and a half, I've been posting about and tagging random law enforcement agencies in hope to protect loved ones, avoid unalivings and tragedies that could have been avoided. Despite this, I have been ignored, ridiculed, and mentally silenced over these crimes you are now aware of by a very aggressive PR team and costly campaign to silence and physically harm me for exposing it. It only aimed to prevent me from further sharing publicly the facts and insights that Kim Porter shared with me during our frequent and intimate conversations in her selfless attempts to save my life by sharing frequent plans to do harm and possibly ending my life. I am writing this post to formally request an investigation into an entire group of individuals who worked at or around the home of Kim Porter, including the publicist who assisted drafting this. It has come to my attention that these persons were also instructed to steal her computer and mobile devices, which contain the original book notes. Original notes are distinct from the fabricated crap and offensive pages that's on Amazon, that book everybody's talking about, which depict graphic sexual acts, including me, that never took place and that were edited and added after Kim's, when she passed away. I urge you to consider who authorized such fictitious publication without categorizing it as calculated fiction. The publicists and conspirators worked in concert from separate camps, launching this campaign, which appears to be very personal and a deliberate distraction from the involvement in covering horrific crimes assisted in and perplexed the public for many years, which I have personally experienced and cautiously deemed just a medical crisis for legal reasons until the rest of these atrocities were uncovered by the authorities, making it more believable to a gullible public that has been fooled for so long. Okay, he says that book everybody's talking about with Kim Porter, that's not real. He did not do some of the things that they said in the book, that this is not real. Those books that's out right now. Okay, and that the public is being gullible, and now you're going to find out the truth. Okay, so he also said this: Kim Porter's missing devices. We heard about it, that she was writing a book allegedly to expose Diddy. I'll Be Sure says Kim Porter's missing devices, allegedly already in evidence, unquestionably contain the critical evidence that have been concealed. I'm convinced that the evidence corroborates closely with details outlined in the recently released public indictment document. Additionally, it is pertinent to note that the individuals involved in this matter may also be connected to concealing alleged unalivings of several prominent artists. Hold on now. He said it is pertinent to note that the individuals involved in this matter may also be connected to concealing the alleged unaliving of several prominent artists, a situation that has left many bewildered, yet those who are immersed in the culture and familiar with the atrocities of the entertainment industry may have a clearer understanding of the obvious. Yeah, maybe he's insinuating, Biggie and Tupac too. Okay. It's with a heavy heart that I reflect on the legacy of our beloved Lady KP, Kim Porter. It is truly disheartening to think that those she considered close friends and who were financially compensated by her perpetrators may have conspired with the perpetrator to obscure the truth and tarnish her name, my name, and her unfinished book notes, with these ridiculous and unfounded narratives in that book. The absence of Kim Porter leaves a void, depriving her of the opportunity to address these inaccuracies personally and to share her own factual memoirs detailing the brutal terror and madness she endured. Check all who text messages of those who serve in a PR capacity, as they have brilliantly and crafted this fictitious story to serve a personal vendetta. There's more. There's so much to unpack. Unfortunately, I'm the only survivor by the blessings of a medical team, that initially gave up because of multiple system organ failure, septic. I was on a ventilator for 38 days, and forced to visit death's doorsteps. But the God I serve, and worship had another plan. Keep in mind that this is just the G-rated version of what I endured over a decade to silence the OG. So he's saying everything I'm saying to y'all, this is just a G-rated version. There's a hell of a lot more that I can't say. I endured a lot, says Al B. Shore, by Puff Daddy. I also kept forensic records of every individual who was sent my way to set me up, track me, gaslight me, and allegedly cause harm to my system. Damn. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to speed through with this, I want to read everything. Unfortunately, Kim Porter was taken away from us soon before she could complete her true thoughts, before this fake, unauthorized edit, this book on Amazon, which the disappearance of her computer raises more questions. It is evident that her potential to expose the realities of her personal abuses, being drugged, the trafficking she was privy to, with also the brave actions of Cassie, posed a threat to those profiting from such heinous activities. In a nutshell, Kim Porter was taken from us because she was set on course to accomplish what Cassie did by igniting the bonfire, which brings us here today. Let us honor the memory of Kim Porter, acknowledging the strength, struggles she faced, and the truth she sought to reveal with her own personal notes, not this fake book nonsense, using my name to keep dragging me as a punishment for exposing this years ago. There will be a significant suit headed right for the heads of those responsible parties who dragged my name into this. Kim and I talked we talked with each other a few days before she passed away. She was in good health, and we were great friends. Reminiscing about old times and celebrating the news of our son's accomplishments. No affair, just great friends. We must continue to advocate for justice and ensure that every one of the individuals who conspired against her are held accountable and prosecuted to the highest extent of the law. So, all right. That's what Al B. Shore said. And he has been a true friend to her. So I'm looking in the chat. I hope Jay-Z is next in line. He is evil. Jaguar Wright has said it, and I had a dream that he might be next. I think Leonardo DiCaprio and Ashton Kutcher may be exposed. I wonder what. If they're having sex with men and women, they're not going to be locked up for that. Let's see. Dr. Dre, a woman beater, an evil man. Jay-Z, Russell Simmons, all need to go down. You see, when people bring up Russell Simmons, I always felt that Russell Simmons is gay. I don't believe Russell Simmons is a straight man. I don't care if he had kids with Kimora. That man with that list that he got, and the way that man seems gay as hell to me. And if he is, he is. But I don't believe that man is raping women, because I believe with everything in me, he is a gay man. And if he is, he is. It's not a, I'm just saying, I don't believe Russell Simmons is straight at all. So, now let's get more to it now. Y'all, look at this video. Speaking of children, look at this. Look, I love Faith Evans. Y'all know I do. And I know that you don't always have control as an artist who directs the video, the concepts of the video. Do you see this? I remember the way you used to love me. We all know that song, but I never saw this version. This was uploaded 10 years ago, right here on YouTube, this version that no one really saw. Look, she's talking about grown woman stuff about a grown man. They're like, why are there little girls in this video? Look how they're dancing. Look at the little girls. Oh, hell no. Why are they dressed like that? Look at those little girls. Look, hands on their head, doing the Tootsie Roll. Look at how they moving their bodies. Dressed. Faith Evans is covered up head to toe. Covered up head to toe, but they decided to put grown people in the crowd dancing to a song about a grown woman and a man, a love relationship, and then they decide to put these little girls dressed in a two-piece, rolling their hips and thighs, dancing around Faith Evans in the video. I said, what the hell is this? I ain't never seen this. And people are like, how is it we didn't notice this back then? But this is not the video we usually see. We don't usually see this because this is not the official video that was promoted. But this is disgusting. And they're like, Diddy, you know he has the control a lot. Look at them little girls. Why? You see how stuff is right in front of our faces, but we don't notice. I had never saw this version of that video until literally yesterday. And now everyone is like, maybe Faith needs to say something. Faith Evans, what's going on here? Girl, what's going on with this video? Why? Why are these little girls dancing like grown women to a suggestive song about a man and a woman dressed like that and doing this? This is disgusting. Disgusting. All right.
Mary J. Blige is allegedly on a freak-off tape with Diddy. It's been going around all over TikTok that Mary J. Blige is in a freak-off tape with Diddy, and she's saying that this was her rite of passage. And a lot of people have always wondered about Mary J. Blige, and they feel like she is in on some shit because she has never opened her mouth, and she has been with Diddy since the very beginning. And there are a lot of photos on the internet with Mary J. Blige with Cassie, and as you can see during these photos, Cassie has visible. Now, all this information with Mary J. Blige allegedly being in a freak-off tape with Diddy instantly made me think of Danny Boy. Mary J. Blige slept with a 15-year-old Danny Boy when she was 24 years old, and Danny Boy admitted that Mary J. Blige would fly him out to New York multiple different times.
I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in to see her. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young and shit, and I'm trying to show her that she ain't phasing me. I'm hard as goddamn. She's backing up against me. This Mary J. Blige. And quite nice with the guy. I mean, you know, I don't even know if you're supposed to say you had sex with people on camera. I had an opportunity to go out to New York and visit her a couple more times.
And then after all of this information started coming out that Mary J. Blige is allegedly in this freak-off tape with Diddy, I started thinking about the time that Danny Boy said when he was a teenager, he had relationships with men that were in the closet that were singers and producers in the industry. And Danny Boy was asked when he said this, was this somebody at Death Row? Because at the time he was with Death Row, and he said, hell no. This is something that he knew to keep about himself in the closet because you could never let Suge find out about this, and it was nobody like that inside Death Row. So this really has me thinking, did Mary J. Blige and Diddy do a freak off with Danny Boy? Is this who Danny Boy is talking about? I mean, he admitted to sleeping with Mary J. Blige when he was 15 years old and said that Mary J. Blige flew him to New York multiple different times, and said at the same time during his teenage years, which would be 15, 16, 17 years old, he was having relationships with men who were in the closet and they were acting like they were straight. And in this interview clip that I'm about to show you of Danny Boy, he also also explained how these people have never came out of the closet. You cannot tell me that this man was not talking about Diddy. Like, this is some crazy shit. I thought it was bad enough that Mary J. Blige messed with the 15-year-old Danny Boy, but now the connections are starting to fall in line. But I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of Danny Boy explaining how he was having relationships with people in the industry who were basically in the closet and never told the truth about themselves. And you guys let me know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Danny Boy was somebody that was involved in these freak-offs as a kid?
In my teen years, you know, I did some things with, you know, between me and the homies, you know, and it would be considered gay. But those guys are straight guys now, and in the relationships, so they say. I mean, but they're in relationships now, so I'm the only one that kind of came out.
Was some of these individuals that you was messing around with, you know, around that time when you was on death row, was they in the industry?
Yeah. I thought you was going to say, was they on death row? Yeah, they was in the industry. Who else was I hanging around? I wasn't just hanging around with people in regular neighborhoods.
Was they on death row?
Nah. Look at them, though. I mean, no offense, but nah. No, yuck. I don't know. Like, they went with me. No. That wasn't a thing. It wasn't like an open thing that even then. You know, even me having the feelings, it was suppressed because that was a thing that I knew not to take around Suge.
Mary J. Blige is allegedly on a freak-off tape with...
Okay, so what I heard is that allegedly Mary's on the tape saying, yeah, this is my rite of passage. And allegedly the man or the woman or the little boy or the little girl, I don't know, they said it's the person, the victim is underage that she's effing with. I don't know for sure. The public, the court system, somebody's going to have to release it. As far as Danny Boy, yeah, you know what's crazy is that every time my mom, anytime I like a guy that's on TV, I'm like, oh, he's cute. She's like, he's gay. He's gay. He's gay. He's gay. I said, why you keep calling everybody gay? She said, because I know I got the gaydar. He gay. Such and such. He gay. Even if I don't think they're cute. She's like, oh, him? He gay. He gay. I said, Mom, you call every man gay. She said, he is gay. Or if he's really fine. Oh, he fine. He too damn fine. You know they gay. He gay. He gay. Child, girl, he gay. I said, no. I said, you can't keep calling everybody gay. But look, apparently this just keeps coming out that a lot of these dudes is gay. You know, and it's not always a look. I mean, good-looking men are gay. Everybody throwing it at them. Not all of them, okay? The unattractive ones gay. Everybody. You just don't know no more. And it's like, what is it? I mean, it's not... child, oh my, just please, I just can't take it. A little bit says gay until proven otherwise. You know, Perfect Nail says they call it messing around. If you are a man who likes to go up the butt or have another man go up your butt or sucking on it, you gay, baby. There is no other way to say it. Well, I mean, just accept the truth. But they refuse to do it, especially black men. A number of them. I mean, I don't know what the appeal is going up somebody's dookie hole. I just don't. It stank. Even if you use clean it out, you ain't gonna never get it fully clean. It's impossible. You get it's more susceptible to getting an STD up your butt because of all the veins and the bleeding and how tight it is. You might not ever dookie right again. Muscles give out. A knife cutting you open. Child, I just don't understand. But speaking of that, I have to show you something that just made me laugh. Hold on.
Jaguar.
Where is this video clip? Because it's a mess. It is a mess. It's an absolute mess that my jaw just dropped hearing this. Hold on.
Jaguar.
I'm trying to...
Jaguar Wright told us that Diddy learned...
I'm trying to find it. Because you will be disturbed. You will be disturbed. What I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to just get this video. Y'all know that allegedly. Oh, God, yes, Monas. A lot of them have HIV in the industry. But they cover it up now. They call it ammonia. I got pneumonia. I got cancer. Because it creates different diseases. So they'll claim that oh, I passed away. They passed away from that, when really it was just a result of having the HIV that turned into AIDS and stuff. Charlie Sheen, we know he has it. He said, Charlie Sheen said, I know a lot of them that other people that got it. He said, I ain't gonna never tell you because it's just a sensitive thing. You know, they don't want to expose that. But yeah, a number of them do. They said Puffy allegedly got it, but then they claim, you know, Kim passed away from pneumonia. But P. Diddy, he's still living. We'll never know the truth. You know, it's a horrible thing. I wish that the government would find a cure for it. But let me show you this disturbing sound. Now, I'm being petty now with this, but this is supposedly the sound of P. Diddy clapping them cheeks of Meek Mill. Look, if you couldn't hear what he's saying F my A, nigga. F me. F my A, nigga. The N word, F it. They said this sound painful. Jesus. That's exactly how it be sounding. I'm like, is it really feeling good? How? That's your booty hole. It ain't hurting you. He ripping it apart. Ah! Lord, look, before we continue, baby, I want to show you something real quick. Okay, before we continue, Lord knows, just give me a second to recuperate from that. I want to promote a beautiful woman, her business. This is Kendall Miles Designs, and you can visit her website at kendallmilesdesigns.com. She is a shoe designer, a fashion designer, a shoe designer. Her signature is the beautiful ostrich feathers on her stilettos, and she also has other styles as well. As you can see, colorful, playful, flirty, sexy. I love it. Lavender, the blue, the hot pink. Also a classic stilettos, pump, which I love. A lot of pointy toe. This is really cute. I love it a lot. A lot of celebrities have also worn some of her designs, such as Megan Thee Stallion, Big Lotto. I love that purple outfit. And look at her shoe. Look. I love it. It's fun and flirty. And the pink shoe, the woman with the pink outfit, is sort of like a faux fur sort of shoe right there. It's different. And I love it so much. I love shoes, and I love to see different styles of shoes. I love a good strappy heel. And you got to be able to rock this the right way. Rock it the right way. Hook up your outfit. And I love it. She's been very successful, and that's really, really great to see. So, yes, KendallMilesDesigns.com. Check her out. All right. So let's get back into it. All right. Let me go back to the video. Let's see the last video I was on.
Jaguar, Mary J. Jaguar Wright told us that Jay-Z was worse than Diddy. And we're going to go ahead and deep dive this Jay-Z and Diddy connection to show just how deep this might actually go. The one thing I can't stand is seeing these photos of Jay-Z and Diddy with Aaliyah. It makes me sick to my stomach. We know that Diddy and Jay-Z have both been friends with R. Kelly for years, and Jay-Z continued to make albums with R. Kelly after all the information came out with him and Aaliyah. And I'd say this is because Jay-Z was pretty comfortable with the fact that he knew he also wanted Aaliyah, and honestly, so did Diddy. And Aaliyah's death has sat right with me. There are so many sketchy things around her death that just don't make sense. The fact that Aaliyah was given a substance and knocked unconscious and then was carried onto this plane that she didn't want to get on because she thought that something was wrong with it that led to her death is just crazy. There's also even more disturbing information about Aaliyah's pilot of that plane, and they said that he had just joined the program 2 days prior before the flight, and he wasn't even supposed to be the pilot on flight.
Aaliyah was sitting in a taxi as her team and flight crew argued nearby about whether or not to take off, and she complained of having a headache. Now, reportedly, a baggage handler nearby said that someone from her entourage gave her a pill. She took the pill, and that right after she fell into a very deep sleep. So deep, in fact, that she was carried onto the airplane still asleep and may not have even been aware she was on the airplane. Now, we should say we don't know what that pill was. It could have been aspirin. Maybe she was just very tired from a long video shoot. And the baggage handler did say that she took it willingly. But it does reveal some new information about those final moments.
After the crash, investigators determined the small plane was carrying about 700 pounds over its limit. And this is important. The center of gravity was too far back in the aircraft.
The pilot did not want to make this trip, and he reportedly argued with Aaliyah's team because he thought that it was unsafe. So he did make those calculations, and he did decide that it was unsafe. However, after protracted negotiation, they went through with that flight. Now, we did also learn some new things about this pilot. According to autopsy results, he had both alcohol and cocaine in his system.
The pilot
did.
Whoa.
He was not the authorized pilot for that plane, and he had just joined that company a few days prior to that flight. So he was very new with that company.
Another crazy instance that I think about is Jay-Z and Blue Cantrell, and Diddy was obviously in this photo as well, but he is cut out, but he's right there next to Kim Porter. Now, it was rumored that Jay-Z and Blue Cantrell had an affair going on while he was dating Beyonce. Blue Cantrell actually did an interview with Wendy Williams where she talked about sleeping with Jay-Z, and then shortly after that interview released, Blue Cantrell was hospitalized after ranting that she was poisoned on the streets. Blue Cantrell went running through the streets ranting about people trying to unalive her until police took her into custody for a physical evaluation. Blue Cantrell was running around the streets screaming that somebody was trying to unalive her by giving her poisonous gas.
Jay-Z. Oh my God! I heard he's hung like a horse flu. Oh my God! Beyonce. She really have him locked down. I think so. I think they're in love. It's politics speaking. No, I really do think they're in love. I have a big crush on him though. I'll tell you that much. I still have a crush on no. No, I didn't. No, I'm really selective about it. What? Really? I really like him though. And I don't care who he's dating. I always had a crush on him though. If he came in right now and we were all not here. What? I'm just saying. You're in New York. Yeah, okay. And what? If you ran into him and everything was right, would you make that play? I wouldn't turn it down. Let's just put it that.
Another time that I think about is when Jay-Z was allegedly dating an underage Foxy Brown.
I love Jay, and I'm not. I want to say that too. And I just spoke to Jay this morning.
How is the sex? Is he hung like a horse?
Oh my God,
that's what Artie says.
He's unbelievable. Is he? Jay's. Let me tell you something. No one can do what Jay and I do. Like for real. It's a trainer in this industry that I have genuine love for. Like real diehard love for. And it's Jay. For real.
You're sprung. That was her first. Art, you think she and J Bone? You don't have to acknowledge it, Foxy. Just Art.
Remember, I'm a lot younger than
exactly, and so is Beyonce. He likes him younger.
10-year-old girl did it, you know, which is odd, but you know, like I said, we grew up fast. We just needed a person who fit can take that position that, you know, girl versus guy call and response, because that's what it is. It's just a fun girl versus guy type of thing.
He was like, okay, why don't we just talk about real life? And I was like, give me 20 minutes.
I've been there since I was 15 years old, so it was like really getting a divorce. And
I guess sometimes people forget you started very young.
I started at 15, for real, real age.
It showed.
And then you have Jay-Z and Maya, where it was alleged Jay-Z had her blackballed from the industry because she turned down his advances.
Those in power, that want to abuse it and get off on abusing it, definitely plot on their prey, and you have to be willing to sacrifice anything that you think you might benefit from, a career, etc., and say no, period. Sometimes that doesn't translate as far as what you are allowed to have, what you have access to. You will be blackballed. You will be talked about. You will be shitted on. You will be rumored about. But you have to stand strong on what you don't care for. It's not that serious to me, if I have to sell my soul. And people will still try to manipulate, the perception of you.
And then we have Jay-Z and Rihanna, where Jaguar Wright alleged that Rihanna was trafficked here from Barbados to Jay-Z. The fact that this record deal signing took place at 3 a.m. has never made sense to me. And the fact that Jay-Z looked at Rihanna and said, you have two choices. You can either sign this record deal and walk out the door, or I can throw you out the window and we're on the 42nd floor. I literally couldn't imagine being only 15 years old, flying to a whole different country by yourself in the middle of the night to meet with these music executives, and then they say some crazy shit like that. And then you have all of the allegations about Jay-Z and Free from 106 and Park, and Jaguar Wright has also talked about this, how they allegedly had a baby together, and then Jay-Z blackballed her from the industry. And last but not least, we cannot forget about Jay-Z's alleged pregnant mistress, who ended up having a brain aneurysm right before she was getting ready to go to the media and leak that she was pregnant with Jay-Z's baby. And here we have again Diddy right here in this picture. There is Kathy White, there is Jay-Z, and there is Diddy. Jaguar Wright said when all of these allegations come out about Jay-Z, it's going to be worse than everything that we've heard about Diddy, because Jay-Z is very calculated and he basically knows how to keep everything Now everybody's on edge waiting to see what Diddy is going to do, because a lot of people think he's going to snitch, which might be likely because we know that Diddy is an addict. Jay-Z has been quiet as a church mouse and hasn't said a word about his friend and all the allegations against him. Cat Williams wasn't lying when he said 2024 was going to go out with a bang, and I honestly can't wait to hear what might come out about Jay-Z. But you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Jaguar.
Okay, so we saw that, and Jaguar Wright did say that Jay-Z is worse than Diddy. I'm like, well, what is he doing? What is he doing? I remember that video of Jay-Z mushing that woman. You can't even find it on the internet hardly anymore, where a woman tried to take his photo and Jay-Z took his hand and mushed the hell out of her forehead. I remember that, and I was disgusted by it. Also, people do praise 50 Cent. 50 Cent is not innocent. That man humiliates black women. 50 Cent, he's not innocent at all. I don't believe I don't know if 50 Cent is on the level of Diddy, but I don't think he probably treats women all that great. But I don't know him personally, but just from what I have seen, how he did Notori and other stuff like that, and things he said about black women before in an article, interview. So, yeah. People will keep saying allegedly with Foxy Brown and Jay-Z. Allegedly. Everybody know. Come on, we know. We know what went on with Foxy. I love Foxy. She made good music, but she's not going to be able, in my opinion, she has to say nothing happened, but everybody knows something happened. Everybody knows. Everyone knows. He was with Beyonce when Beyonce was damn near, 19, 20? And reportedly, they were actually dating before that, allegedly. As far as Blue Cantrell, The fact that she went running down the street, supposedly went crazy, we ain't heard nothing from her since as far as her career. And she was linked to Jay-Z. She said they're trying to get rid of her, running down the street. Okay. We know with Maya, I already played this video clip when Christian Keys wouldn't give the name, and then Maya, what she said about in the industry. And we know that the Game, 50 Cent, tried to ruin Maya's reputation, lied on her. They all wanted to F Maya, and she didn't give it up. Everybody always said, yeah, even though I want to see how you put that thing on me, I can't let you best of me. It was one of my favorite songs, but they were like, you know what? Hold on. People were saying that Jay-Z, he wanted Maya. He was trying to holler at her. I'm trying to find that video clip real quick, if I'm able to. Okay. Yeah. Jay-Z wanted Maya. Maya was the hottest chick in the game, and she still looks beautiful. And Jay-Z wanted some of that. Everybody knows that. Just we know. He probably hollered at her, tried to get some. She turned him down. I mean, Maya's a Libra like me, so she ain't just going for you just because, oh, you're powerful and stuff. And I got options, and I'm just not attracted to you, you know. And nah, you ain't gonna make me feel like a cheap $2 hoe, okay? Maybe he did that, and she turned it down. And she said, you'll be blackballed in the industry. But it's probably not just probably Jay-Z. It's other powerful men within the companies, CEOs, executives, who don't want to give you nothing unless you give up your body to them. So she said, you got to be able to walk away and say no, but understand you're not going to have access to certain stuff. That's why people will say, well, why come such and such is not as big? She's pretty. She can sing. Why come her career? Because you ain't sleeping with certain people. That's what happens a lot too, who hold things over you and blackballing you in the industry. Okay. Also, yeah, it is weird that Rihanna would be a teenager and have to have meeting up with grown men at 3 o'clock in the morning for a record deal. I mean, why was it 3 o'clock in the morning? Why couldn't it? We don't know what's going down with that. There have been rumors for a while that Jay-Z and Rihanna had something going on. No one will ever know the full truth to that. You still have to say alleged because nobody knows. As far as Free, yeah, after 106 and Park was over, Free disappeared. We don't hear nothing from Free. And Jaguar Wright, she gets really emotional and she says, I can't talk about it. She knows something. Allegedly, Jay-Z had a baby with that video vixen who was in the Big Pimpin' video and a few other videos. And the baby does look exactly like a blend in her and Jay-Z if you see that baby. And Free, Free disappeared. They said she had the baby. She's been paid off or blackballed or something by Jay-Z. Some people say that, they feel Beyonce got rid of Kathy White because it would F up her career, her image. Your husband is out here. He made a baby with Kathy White. Yeah, I do find it very interesting. Supposedly she had an aneurysm at 20-something years old. 20-something or 30 years old, an aneurysm. Whew. But we don't know if the truth is going to come out. We do not know. And Aaliyah, I love Aaliyah. And Aaliyah passed away at damn near 22 years old. We know what happened with R. Kelly. People will say, well, Jay-Z was trying to get... Damon Dash basically said or insinuated that Jay-Z wanted Aaliyah, but Aaliyah did not want him. She wanted Dame, and Jay-Z was real salty over it. I could totally see that. Or that maybe they were talking at first, Aaliyah and Jay-Z, but she ended up more interested in Dame, and that's who she ended up being with. People might say, well, why would they want to take her out? Why would they want to put Aaliyah on a plane and get rid of her? Other people say, yeah, it was a conspiracy. It was a blood sacrifice ritual, and that Beyonce had to be next in line. So that's why they did that, and Beyonce ended up becoming a huge star and all of that. I don't know the truth. You know, it's absolutely insane. I've heard about companies putting insurance again on their music artists. Her uncle Barry Hankerson got millions of dollars after she passed away, like damn near 70 or 90 million dollars. And I'm not saying that he did it. He seemed to be distraught in interviews, but look, we don't know the truth. We don't know. I don't think we will ever know the full truth, but rest in peace to Aaliyah. And a lot of these men are dangerous, a number of them. And it's not just the music industry, it's any industry you go to. Any man who has power, usually in wealth, a number of them do stuff to both women and men who they want and who they hold things over. Like, you want this money, you want this deal, you want this contract, you want this house, do this, come here. And then the whole putting stuff in people's drinks type of stuff. So we shall see.
Jaguar Wright told us that Diddy learned everything from Clive Davis. Jaguar Wright has explained how much of a monster Clive Davis is, and she constantly says that Diddy learned everything from him. Jaguar Wright claimed that Clive Davis had something to do with Whitney Houston's unaliving because she was getting ready to leave Clive Davis's record label because she realized she was missing a whole bunch of money. And a lot of people thought it was terrible when Clive Davis continued to party even though Whitney Houston had just died in the same hotel. And then to add that with even more mystery, it was super weird when Whitney Houston gave this note to Brandy the night before she passed away. And honestly, I want to know what that note says more than anything honestly in the world. And then after Whitney Houston passed away, Bobby Brown's sister started saying that Whitney's death was no accident and saying that Bobby Christina was not safe.
Whitney Houston's body told anybody upon looking at it that it was foul play. Okay, don't get it twisted. No, Whitney Houston, I counted at least 10 gashes in her chest alone. She had marks up and down her legs. Her fingernails were chipped. Her face was busted out. It was blown up. Yes, as if somebody was punching her in the face. Whitney Houston fought for her life.
Jaguar Wright claimed that this happened to Whitney Houston because she was trying to leave Clive Davis. And then she said the same thing happened to Bobby Christina because Bobby Christina inherited Whitney Houston's estate. And Jaguar Wright claimed that Bobby Christina's boyfriend had a meeting with Clive Davis, and this is how Clive Davis basically set it up to make the same thing happen to Bobby Christina. And just wait till you hear what Bobby Brown's sister had to say about Bobby Christina's passing.
Basically, right before Whitney was murdered, Nick was brought into the picture. And when Nick did that to Bobby Christina, she was rushed to the hospital because after he beat her and drug her up them steps, he shot her up with something and threw her in the bathtub. It was a setup. It was a setup. Yes. Nick was told not to let her go out of that house and to do whatever it was he got paid to do that.
Now, Jaguar Wright said that Whitney Houston's passing had to do with money and her realizing that she was getting money taken from her, so she was getting ready to leave Clive Davis. And we know that Diddy has been accused for years of not paying his artists correctly. And the same situation happened to TLC. If you remember, TLC realized that they were actually broke and they weren't making money like they thought. So they actually went to Clive Davis and held him hostage because they believed that he was ripping them off. And they held him hostage at point. And in this interview, they talk about the police coming and everything and saying Diddy is the one that snitched them out to the police. And the same thing makes sense with Diddy and Biggie. We know that allegedly Biggie was getting ready to leave Bad Boy Records, and this is why Diddy, and that's why he was gone. But you know, Diddy wouldn't have been the only one to lose everything if Biggie got ready to walk, because Clive Davis is the one that invested millions of dollars into Biggie Smalls.
He played me 3 or 4 cuts of this artist called Notorious B.I.G. And yeah, I gotta tell you, I did listen and I was a believer. If I weren't a believer, I would not have invested the millions of dollars that I did.
Jaguar Ray.
You know, the thing is that why would a person invest millions of dollars in an artist just to take them out? It just doesn't make sense. You would lose. But then again, I've heard that they put insurance, life insurance on artists. And if they don't want you, or if the company is failing, they hire hit people to take them out, and then they collect the insurance. That is totally believable. You know, you don't often hear about Clive Davis. I mean, he's usually regarded as a very legendary man. He discovered some of the greatest artists that we know of in music history, and you don't hear much about him. Now, she said that he learned his ways from Clive and other men. Now, Clive is openly bisexual. I've heard the rumors of the whole blackmailing men, record the grape, then get them in a meeting and say, if you want out this contract, what are you going to do? We got you on tape being gang raped by a group of men. After they give them a drink and they pass out, type of stuff. Allegedly, this is the stuff that goes on. And this is something with Whitney Houston. The fact that, hold on. We don't hear much about Whitney. You know, people oftentimes don't talk about Whitney because it was known that Whitney was doing drugs. So they're like, well, she just had an overdose. She was struggling for years. She got skinny as a skeleton, was on the crack, the heroin or whatever, and had an overdose. I never hear about the autopsy or the fact that her face was punched in. Now, people do talk about this letter. What did she say to Brandy in this letter? And she was dating Ray J too, at the time, Brandy's brother. And Ray J has also been turned out allegedly by a lot of men in the industry too. And just the fact that her daughter passed away within a very few short months, the same way as Whitney, we know that's not normal. It is not normal at all. Bobby Christina was damn near, 22 maybe years old, a young girl, young woman, and passes away in the bathtub. We know that ain't normal. Not just like her mother. Look, Kawhi says nothing is a coincidence. Yeah, it's not normal that happened. Bobby Brown is quiet as a mouse. And, wow, so she wanted to leave his label, allegedly, and he took her out for it. And Jaguar Wright has said that he took out Janis Joplin too, and others. Anything is possible. And I don't know if we'll ever get the full truth. Okay, hold on. Let's look. Okay, the book was never released. Okay, another book. It says they had something big on Clive Davis and Diddy, and Whitney helped Kim Porter with information for the book. This is new that I'm hearing. It says that Clive orchestrated Whitney's demise and took a decision to have her lay in state. Okay, he was partying. They were partying when Whitney passed away. They said it was a ritual, some sort of ritual. Okay. All right. So, I mean, it's shocking to people because people always thought that Clive Davis and Whitney Houston was real close. You know, the pictures you see, he seems like a nice man, making money, discovering legendary music artists and stuff. So then you hear stuff like this. It says that she was drugged and beaten to death and later drowned in hot water to confuse the autopsy. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine that if that really happened? Whitney getting beat to death? Her deleting, getting taken out, was to discourage Kim Porter from going forward with publishing the book. Oh my goodness. But Kim Porter refused to stop, claiming it was a children's book. Kim Porter was deleted in 2018 after all the material from the book was stolen. Kim again was deleted again. Yeah. Kim was a young woman still in perfect health. Bobby Christina also paid the price for knowing too much. She is known for exposing industry secrets in public. Like this tweet, hold on, about Angela Bassett. Now, this is the first time I'm watching some of this stuff with y'all. Hold on. Let's see what she said about Angela Bassett. Bobby Christina. When I win my first Grammy or Oscar, whichever comes first, I'll be sure to shout out your name, B. Something, your test results equal male. Okay, she says, when I win my first Grammy or Oscar, whatever comes first, I'll be sure to shout out your name, B. Your test results equal male. Miss Angela Basket Case has such a damn nerve. My Lord, at least the world doesn't mistake me for the wrong sex. She has extra equipment. So she's saying that Angela Bassett is a man? Bobby Christina said that Angela Bassett is a man. I have never heard this. The beautiful Angela Bassett. Okay, that's what she said. That's what she insinuated. There go Puffy with Clive Davis. Kim Porter passed away. Whitney Houston, Bobby Christina. Okay.
So I did just get done reading the book, and my mind was like, things that are in here? But you're right. She was not 20 when she met Diddy, so what's really going on? As far as all the other stuff, like, there's enough people name dropped, I feel, to be like, I want to sue for defamation. But because it was released under this, pseudonym, fake name, maybe that's why they wouldn't be able to anyway. I don't know if some of the things in the book were meant to throw people off, and if it was Kim's, words, like, I don't like the formatting of the book. I don't like how it was all over the place. But in the end, it says that there's going to be, like, a slow rollout for more. Anyway.
Oh, wow. Ooh. Okay, I'm back. It had disconnected for a second. I was like, oh my God, my stream. I am back. Leave a heart in the chat. Leave a heart in the chat if you can hear me. Now, when stuff like this happens, sometimes the chat don't upload correctly after the video is over. So when this video is over, well, you have to wait a while because this is a long stream, but say stuff in the comments section, if there's an issue with this chat. Oh my goodness, I hope the chat uploads correctly now that happened. That's what happens sometimes when you're like, what happened to the chat? Because this happened and disconnected and then connected. All right, Little Bow Wow, been kind of exposed, but you still have to say allegedly. She said JB, Justin Bieber. They're saying Usher, Little Bow Wow, Stevie J. Stevie J definitely seems sort of just zesty. Hold on.
With men, this book, alleged, I'm going to say everything's alleged, says it was JB, Usher, and Little Bow Wow. And allegedly, Kim and Diddy had threesomes with freaking J-Lo, with Jada Pinkett, with Will Smith, with Faith, with Jamie Foxx, like.
And I now heard all of them is bisexual at large. I've heard this before this book. Jamie Foxx.
That part made it seem like it was just him and Diddy, but the conversations about Biggie's mom coming up to him during dinner, and just, I hope she never reads this book, because everyone who's named in here, I feel like at least one person should be like, this is BS, or yeah, that happened. Because now more than ever, I don't know what to think, but it is true. This thing says that she met Diddy, was with him at 20. We know that's not true. Anyway, what do the rest of you think if y'all already read it?
Now again, supposedly this book is not true. Supposedly. Okay. Hold on. Give me a second. So Kim's children have released a statement. They said that this is not true. Their mother did not write this book. It says any so-called friend speaking on behalf of our mother is not a friend. We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing. We feel the need to speak out. How, you know what though? How can you don't know what your mama and daddy was into. They're not telling you all of how they get down in the bedroom and who they sleeping with. And you don't know, you want to believe your dad didn't do it. There's no proof yet, but you can't say nothing is possible. Of course they don't want to hear this though. That's their mom and dad. You don't want to hear nothing like that. But anything is possible. I can't say I have a very close relationship with my mom where she tells me stuff, but some people don't. But a lot of parents are not telling their kids the threesomes they had and what celebrities they were sleeping with in the bed with. But they're embarrassed by it, all this stuff coming out. Okay? Claims that our mother wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not. And anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Additionally, please understand that any so-called friend speaking on behalf of our mother is not a friend, nor do they have the best interest at heart. Our lives were shattered when we lost our mother. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could have been taken from us too soon, the cause of her passing has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process, and we ask that everyone respect our request for peace as we continue to cope with her loss every day. We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been a tragic event of our lives. Our mother should have been remembered for the beautiful, strong, and kind and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories. We ask that everyone please respect our mother, Kim Porter, and hold her legacy in high regard so that she may rest in peace. It's what she deserves. We love you and miss you, Mommy. Quincy, Jesse, and Dahlia. Char Lamnor says they didn't write this. Puff Daddy's team did.
Turning people out. That was just an addiction. That was his addiction. He didn't. There's plenty of people that he could have. It was his addiction. Y'all don't understand. I look at Bentley and all these people. Come on, man. Now that we know the monster, man, you carry the man umbrella. You was the man. I watched this man disrespect you every chance he got. Talk to you like his bitch. I think Fonzo was his little girlfriend at one time, because you have to see how they was conducting themselves. I don't want to say that about Bentley, because Bentley got kids and shit. And I got respect for that. Like, he was one of the few niggas I fuck with. But the way they used to carry themselves back then. And plus he had put something on his Instagram. He put something on his Instagram like 4 or 5 months ago, and he was like, don't let me tell my story or some shit like that. I heard they fell out because of he was stealing or something like that. Whatever. But Nick, you hang around a nigga who don't want to pay you, giving millions of dollars away every night, acting like he can't pay you on time, want to fill your butt, all this weird ass shit. You gonna steal from him too. You might not even be a thief. Turning people out.
Now, this is Freddie P from Making the Band. We remember how horrible it turned out. He made them walk to Brooklyn to get a piece of cheesecake, and their careers never went anywhere. We know what happened with Danity Kane, okay, the abuse and everything. So he's saying Farnsworth Bentley was turned out too. Farnsworth Bentley was turned out too by Diddy. Now he got a wife and kids. Everybody know Farnsworth. I mean, maybe he's bisexual, but Lord, let's get more into it.
Lady Whistledown Jaguar Wright said that LL Cool J was one of those homo thugs that Wendy Williams used to talk about.
I don't like LL Cool J is one of my crushes in the rap game. It's not many. There's probably like only 3 or 4 I can name. LL Cool J was always on that list. LL Cool J, I mean, I have him in one of my little video commercials you saw, and I'm not going to change that video. But come on, not my LL. Not my ladies love fine ass LL. I saw him in concert, and I never ran like that in my life. Not my LL. No, not LL. Period. I don't want to know. No.
Jaguar Wright said that LL Cool J was one of those homo thugs that Wendy Williams used to talk about. Allegedly, back in the day, him and Diddy Diddler used to share a Sean John model, and LL Cool J beat the young boy up because he said he ain't give a fuck who he worked for. He didn't put Diddy Diddler over him. Lady Whistledown also says she used to be up in the gay clubs and would see him, and he liked them little young Latin boys. Then she shared a picture of this. Who that he hugging, y'all? None other than the Sean Carter.
Jay-Z looks gay as hell. That's Jay-Z. No. Please.
Him and Diddy Diddler used to share a Sean John model, and LL Cool J beat the young boy up because he said he ain't give a fuck who he worked for. He didn't put Diddy Diddler over him. Lady Whistledown also says she used to be up in the gay clubs and would see him, and he liked them little young Latin boys. Then she shared a picture of this. Who that he hugging, y'all? None other than the Sean Carter. She said, what does picture look like to you? To me, it looked like New York rooftop secrets. He said the grown LL Cool J was very impressionable on the young, underage Sean Carter. Y'all know I had to go and see what it was that Wendy Williams was talking about, so I'm going to add the clip to the end of this video. Let me just add, all of this is alleged, supposed, I'm gossiping. I don't know if it's true or not. Don't sue me.
And be very clear, there were lots of homosexuals in hip-hop back in the 80s, too. You know, that was you know, what's worse, you know, hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, you know, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality. So I hear what Jamar is saying, but we come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career. And it's all coming full circle now.
Hitler over him. Lady Whistledown also says she used to be up in the gay clubs and would see him, and he liked them little young Latin boys. Who that he hugging, y'all? None other than the Sean Carter.
Now look, that picture of Jay-Z, damn, like I have the gaydar sometimes, and that is full on gay. The way his mouth looks, that everything with Jay-Z. And I refuse, LL, come on, not LL, not my fine ass LL, please, no, Jesus. And I don't see him being a bottom, but you never know. But Lord, please, no, not LL, no. And he supposedly beat up a model that him and P.Diddy was sharing. Oh, hell no. No. And someone else said that LL got something, I ain't gonna say what it is, and he married, but he had a wife and children. Please, a certain thing I can't say, but you can imagine what it is I'm saying. But no, y'all said LL always licking them lips. I mean, come on, no, fine ass LL. That was one of my no. Yeah, I know a lot of gay guys got wives too in the closet. It's just I don't want it to be true. Not LL. I can't even imagine Jay-Z. Like, who is if Jay-Z was gay? Is he a top or a bottom? And who? Like, gay men got taste still. Who? Come on. But Jaguar Wright said in a video that, you know, allegedly, even though she'll say it's not alleged, that she saw him with a man and he was the top. I said, oh, nah. Well, she insinuated he was the top. Lord, no. Damn. But I don't know. I still have to say alleged.
Nicki Minaj is calling out Jay-Z for being involved in the freak-offs with Diddy. Nicki Minaj is on Twitter going off on Jay-Z and all his little minions, saying they all have been quiet about everything that they've known for years about Diddy. This all started because Nicki Minaj said she received a call that Jay-Z sold his company called Tidal, and they offered her $1 million.
Okay, hold on before we get into it. Cerebral, do you think DMX was gay? DMX was very rough, and he gave me vibes like he'll tear up anybody, especially in prison. Yeah, I can see DMX, unfortunately. That man, don't get me wrong, I liked some of his songs, but as far as his SEX life, yeah, I could see him being one of those men in prison like, I ain't gay in prison, you know what I mean? Know what I mean, son? I ain't prison. Arr, I ain't gay. Come on, suck my thing, yo. Get on your knees, yo. Yeah, I got a wife and kids. I'm in jail. It's temporary. One of those type of situations. As far as Nicki Minaj getting all angry because Lil Wayne's anti-black woman's ass didn't get nominated or selected for the Super Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah, it would make sense that Lil Wayne would have gotten chosen. But why are you going hard for a dude who hates the hell out of black women? Lil Wayne is anti-black as hell, and Nicki Minaj even said something about nappy heads and need a perminator, you know, if your hair is nappy. She said that. And she married an effing pedo, a rapist. I don't take anything that woman has to say serious at all. And the fact that you going hard for Lil Wayne, who has publicly said in his lyrics, he hates dark-skinned black women. He did say that. But black women have amnesia and don't remember or something. Oh, how could he not get nominated for the Super Bowl? Why are you going hard for him? He don't even like some of y'all. It's just craziness.
But she had 24 hours to sign the agreement or it was off the table. And Nicki Minaj is claiming that this $1 million offer is to keep her silent, and it's basically hush money. And this reminded me of when Diddy said that he was going to give his publishing back to all of his artists, and then Aubrey O'Day read an NDA that came with the publishing rights, and you had to say that you would never talk about Diddy or anybody that he was ever affiliated with if you signed that deal to get back your publishing rights. And this is where it gets good, because she starts calling out Steve Stout, Jay-Z, and other people, saying, we want to know if you were present during the abuse of these minors. She said, we want to know about Aaliyah, Foxy Brown, etc. during those R. Kelly videos and shoots and stuff.
Just because Lil Wayne, and I don't consider Toya to be that dark. She ain't the darkest black woman. She's just the darkest he's had, in my opinion. And a lot of black men will date and F dark-skinned women when they're at the bottom and they're not famous. And then when they get money, they have access to women that they want. Now, Toya is a good-looking woman. She is. But he said that she is the last darker woman he will have children with. And the difference between my daughter and other people's is that my daughter is rich. Lil Wayne hasn't been seen with a black woman of a darker skin compared to what he, in over a decade. He put in his song, beautiful black woman, I bet that B looks better red. He said that. Not only did he call black women a B, like you're the scum of the earth, that B, he said, yeah, you're beautiful and black, but you will look better if you have lighter skin to me. Also, Lil Wayne's skin color has changed too. That man used to be damn near 4 shades darker than what I've been seeing him look like. But yeah, he said that. It's on record. It's in the lyrics. So I don't get why any black woman, especially a dark-skinned black woman, in their right mind would give two shits about him. It's just weird to me. I didn't get when Kelly Rowland collaborated with him. She used to be much darker than what I've been seeing. But at the end of the freaking day, excuse my language, and this might not be a monetized video. I'm up on here for a while. If y'all want to donate to my Cash App, it's right there. But at the end of the day, I know she's in the industry and you can't control everything. But yeah, the dude just doesn't like black women as a whole, but he definitely doesn't like dark-skinned black women. Lil Wayne, the things he has said is absolutely disgusting. And Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj going so hard for him. Don't be fooled by her. She's actually a lot trash too. The fact that she married a rapist and what she said about black women with very kinky hair, what she said. And yeah, it's just, they all together, a number of them. And I'm not saying Nicki ain't ever made a good song, but beyond that, she's please, her and Lil Wayne, and God knows what they might have did to her too. I got a feeling she might have been gang raped up in there. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. But that's why I didn't feel any sympathy Nicki Minaj having a damn panic attack. How you gonna do Lil Wayne like that? He paved the way for black men wearing dreads in America. Oh, you mean these raggedy locks they're wearing with their hair clumped up, looking like trash, can't get a decent job, look like they don't even wash? You mean that? And she said tattoos. I said it too. Oh, you mean putting tattoos all over your eyes and your eyebrows and your neck and face so that you can't get a job and you look like a drug addict? Wow, so great. So great. But she thinks that's monumental for black men and women. Girl. Okay. Well, let's just skip to the next video.
Kim Porter's tell-all book has been released by her friends detailing the horrific abuse she suffered by Diddy. You guys, I have the chills right now. Kim Porter's tell-all book is now on sale on Amazon, and I already ordered it. It's called Kim's Lost Words, and we're going to go ahead and do a little deep dive right now about what is all in Kim Porter's tell-all book. Kim Porter's tell-all book is a collection of diaries of Kim Porter that was leaked by her friends and turned into a 60-page book called Kim's Lost Words. The book's Los Angeles-based publisher, producer Chris Todd claims Porter shared a thumb drive of her writings with her close friends, which he obtained and lightly edited into the book. Chris Todd said, "I know the celebrity source pretty well, and I know how close they were to Kim and Diddy and all the people in the hip-hop community. This was supposedly for Kim Porter from the grave to come forward and tell her story." This memoir has disturbing accounts of Diddy slapping Kim Porter after losing his temper and even making threats towards her. In this book, Kim Porter recounts discovering and making copies of tapes that Diddy made himself having relations with young boys that he was managing, including an alleged tape involving an 18-year-old pop star who went on to be a household name. You can't tell me that's not Justin Bieber. Kim Porter said that Diddy hosted parties that were like freak-off parties where everybody wanted in. We not only had group sessions, but we swapped partners. Our life was crazy, but I got to do things with Shyne that I would never be able to do with a straight man. She said she was sleeping with a well-known married woman, and I woke up and left the bedroom where I was, and Shyne happened to be coming out of the bedroom with a chart-topping rapper and the woman's husband. Kim Porter wrote that she was grateful that she wasn't asked to join in that room because she didn't like the rapper. She also explained that her and Diddy had an open relationship and she regularly slept with Tupac Shakur. Kim Porter wrote that she discovered videotapes of Shyne's encounters in his bedroom vault and she made copies of them as protection for herself as a part of her plan to leave him. She wrote that some of the tapes had things that she would have never expected. She said the freak-offs are one thing, but young boys like two hip-hop stars formerly managed by Diddy, and then the 18-year-old pop star I would have never known. Kim Porter wrote about the first time that Diddy put his hands on her, saying when she refused to use a toy on him. She explained how Diddy told her, "I just can't stop thinking about that night. It was amazing. Can you use it on me one more time, please?" She explained during this point she became infuriated and told Diddy to have physical relations with a male music executive that she believed that he was having an affair with. She said then Diddy hit her, and this was the first time that Diddy hit her hard. Before I could even form my words, he began to beg, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." She details that she began holding her cheek where he hit her, and I turned and ran off. That should have been it, but I guess I'm gluten for punishment. She also detailed another incident where he fiercely slammed her to the ground, and then he pulled out a .22 and sat it on the end of the table. He knelt down on one knee, got right in my face, and said, "You're mine. You don't have a choice in that. I can't live without you. She wrote, he's a terrifying monster. The final entry in Kim Porter's tell-all book is her falling fatally ill and then texting her friend, he got me, and then calling 911 before she passed away. The book's publisher claimed that the friends of Kim Porter and Diddy who gave him the memoir also had copies of the music mogul's freak-off tapes. He claimed that a shady interluder had been trying to sell them to a Hollywood documentary producer. I was given the memoir 60 pages, and I was also given a photo and told if I was ever wanting access to Diddy's tapes that I could have them also. The producer of the book said, I know for a fact that the tape of Diddy and the teenage pop star has been shopped to Hollywood studios by other parties. He also shared a photo of Kim Porter, and he said that it was taken in her bathroom at Toluca Lake Mansion around 2009. He claimed that a friend of Kim Porter took the photo while she applied makeup to cover up an injury from one of Diddy's alleged attacks. All of this is literally giving me the chills. Like I said, I already ordered this book so I can read it all myself. So this is something that we can go over together once I get the book and I do read it. Kim Porter's tell-all.
Now again, I'll be sure saying that this book is not true. And now Kim's children are saying this book is not true. But a lot of people are reading this book. So give me a second before we get more into it, baby. I want to show something again. Give me a second. Let's see. Oopsie. Sorry, give me a second. Sorry about that. I want to take the time to promote this amazing lady. You can find her on TikTok. And if you click the link on her TikTok page, you will be taken to a website where you can purchase her cookbook. This woman makes amazing looking food, but she's definitely known for her beautiful, amazing looking desserts and cooking breakfast for her children on this very big griddle, pancakes, bacon and eggs. And she makes the most decadent, most beautiful looking cakes and desserts and banana puddings and so much. It looks amazing. Okay, so again, she doesn't just make desserts, even though that is a lot that you will see. She makes the daiquiri drinks. She makes, more dinner meals too. But a lot of what you will see is her amazing cake recipes. And if you love to bake, you love to cook, and you want to try out some new recipes, go to her TikTok, Cooking with Dimples. Cooking with Dimples, and you will see her amazing food right there on TikTok, and you can make a purchase for her cookbook. Okay, so let's get back into the video. Again, check her out. That's her cookbook right there on the right. Effortless. Dimple's Guide to Delicious, Easy Recipes. Okay, so, all right, everybody. Hold on now. Hold on. Just a few short more videos to show, and then we're going to wrap this up. I actually need to go out. Okay, so, boop.
Jaguar Wright said that Justin Bieber got sent by Usher to Diddy. So I went ahead and deep dived this, and honestly, this makes so much sense. So Justin Bieber was signed in 2008 by Scooter Braun and Usher, who made a record label called Raymond Braun Media Group. And as of 2024, Bieber remains the only artist to ever sign with the label. And that's super weird to me, the fact that you would make a record label and you only ever signed one artist. Now pay attention to this, because the parent company is Universal Music Group. And in 2009, this is when Justin Bieber spent that 48 hours with Diddy. And back in 2009, Bad Boy Records also went to Universal Music Group as their parent company, which was also the parent company of Usher's record label when he hired Justin Bieber. Now, you guys remember when Justin Bieber was crying about Billie Eilish, saying that he just wanted to protect her from what he went through when he was in the industry at a young age? Well, she was also signed to Universal Music Group. And Billie Eilish had actually came out and was talking about SA of minors, including her own personal experience when she released the song Your Power. And she said it's about people, mainly men, who take advantage of individuals who are younger than them. Now, Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy named Lucian Grange in multiple different settings and said that he aided and abetted Diddy in his trafficking. And that was until Lucian Grange, the CEO of Universal Music Group, was seeking sanctions against Lil Rod's lawyer, saying that the claim subjected him to global scorn, unfairly fingering him as a defendant in the trafficking lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs. Now, Lucian Grange is one of the most prominent executives in the music industry, and after he threatened Lil Rod's lawyers with his lawyers, he ended up being dropped from the Diddy lawsuit. So it's a super weird connection that Universal Music Group is always attached to all of these people, and it's starting to make a lot of sense. But anyways, you guys remember this interview with Diddy, and he's talking to Justin Bieber, and he's telling Justin Bieber he's acting funny. Why doesn't he want to talk or hang out with him anymore? And it was super weird because Justin Bieber looks so uncomfortable. Well, I re-listened to this whole interview, and in this interview, Diddy starts talking to Justin Bieber about spending a late night with Usher after an Usher concert. Now, this interview is back in the Dirty Money era, and in this interview, Diddy is actually talking to Justin Bieber about promoting Dirty Money. Now, we know that Dawn Richards from Dirty Money just filed a lawsuit against Diddy claiming all these crazy things that happened back then, and one of the things she said in her lawsuit is Diddy would ship and use minors at his parties.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah. Okay. 5. You heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm here to, because you've been a big supporter of mine, all jokes aside. This right here.
And in this interview, against Diddy claiming all these crazy things that happened back then.
Look how nervous and scared Justin Bieber is. He's stumbling on his words.
And one of the things she said in her lawsuit is Diddy would ship and use minors at his parties.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah. Okay. 5. You heard that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm here to, because you've been a big supporter of mine, all jokes aside. This right here is my young brother right here. He's been a big supporter of mine. My album's coming out, and, we got the crew going around now. You in New York City, and we got the Dirty Money crew. And we wanted to make you an official member of the Dirty Money crew.
Are you serious?
There you go.
That is
Justin Bieber.
Swag.
This is your swag. And then you got to do the swag walk, too.
Okay.
I got to show you the swag walk.
You show me the swag walk.
And Scooter, Scoop, Manager, Mogul extraordinaire, you too.
I just got much cooler.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Money.
Dirty Money. Okay, so when we walk down the streets of New York, we hit them like this. So me and you walking, we hanging out, a little later on the night after the Usher.
Now, all of this isn't even including the fact that the same thing happened to Usher, and he admitted how he went to Diddy and he spent 4 months with Diddy, and he was shown drugs and a whole bunch of crazy, freaky things happening when he was a young boy. All of this stuff that Jaguar Wright is saying about Usher bringing Justin Bieber to Diddy is making a lot of sense. And I still don't care to this day. The one thing that gives me chills is the song Lonely.
He says I had everything, but no one's listening. You didn't tell nobody nothing. We know there's a problem. You have it all, but you have no one to call. And I have sympathy, and I want him to be able to come to the public, but nobody knows what's going on because you ain't giving details on what's going on to the public. And we know why. He doesn't want his life probably taken. It's not just Diddy, it's other people. This is actually giving me chills right now. And the thing that makes me mad is that fans will go They'll just laugh and scream his name, but it's true. They don't listen to you. I've seen this before where there was this guy that I like and he's famous, right? And I look in the comment section and I see sadness in his eyes in some photos, and all you see is men and women with emojis of kissy faces. Oh, you look so cute today. Oh, look at him. Oh, you look like a prince. You look so good. Oh, I love you. And it's like, why is it you can't look at a person and you can't see something's wrong? It's like you're so obsessed with them just as who they are that you don't even see them as a freaking person. Like, all you can do is obsess about how cute he is to you, and you're not even seeing him as a person. You can't even recognize by looking at his face that he's sad or upset about something, because you don't give a crap about nobody as a person. He's literally up there singing to the audience, I have no one to call, lonely, I'm lonely. And you have some fans in the audience who give a damn, and then you have others that's just going to go, Justin! And they're like, they don't care about nothing you going through, some of them. But when you make songs like this, I'm like, come to the public. But you have to be realistic. He's not going to tell certain stuff because he doesn't have protection still. And then if he's on camera getting gang raped by Puffy and other people, I mean, he could sue if there's evidence, if he has the tape, if something like that happened. But if not, if nothing happens to these men, they have money and power. Puffy allegedly blew up that dude's car, Kid Cudi. What do you think could happen to him? Not only that, a lot of men don't like to come forward because their manhood. They're like, I got a wife and kids. I was young. I was taken advantage of. I got graped up my butthole. Like, I don't want my wife and them to see nothing like this. That's what they go through too. Okay? And then people will say, well,
Even explaining.
okay, there was a little bit of an issue. It disconnected and reconnected. Okay, so let me know in the chat, leave a heart. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to just play the remaining videos, and then I'm going to give my opinion about every video that we see. Okay? So, okay, let's continue.
But the memoir says that when she watched back the tapes, she was so shocked because there were things, quote, some of the tapes had things I would have never expected. The gay parties are one thing, but the young boys, like the two hip hop stars formerly managed by Diddy and the then 18-year-old pop star, I would have never known. The book publisher is claiming that it was the friends that gave him this thumbnail, the friends that provided this memoir.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. So if she ever needs...
The bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now. Signing the bad boy. Here's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now. Bad boy. Bad boy. The bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now. Signing the bad boy. Here's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now. Bad boy. Bad boy.
Usher deleted all of his tweets after the allegations about Diddy. And we saw Diddy do the same thing with his Instagram just a couple months before the feds arrested him. And I feel like there was something on Twitter he really didn't want us to see, because why would you mass delete all of your tweets after you are being named in all of these allegations with Diddy? Don Richards' lawsuit against Diddy accused Usher and Neo of being there and watching when Diddy forcefully punched Cassie in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain. Don Richards said at this point, this is when she felt very unsafe because she noticed the amount of power Diddy had, because these celebrities never said anything about Diddy committing this crime, and they just continued to work with him after this. And that's not all. We also have the allegations of Usher being the one to bring Justin Bieber to Diddy, and this is circulating like crazy, and you cannot tell me that he has not seen this. The same crazy allegations are being brought up in Kim Porter's book, how she allegedly found these tapes that Diddy had, and she's talking about a young pop star, which a lot of people are thinking is Justin Bieber. So the fact that Usher would do something so publicly like this when he is being scrutinized all over the internet really makes me think that there was something deep down that we were not supposed to see. And some people are thinking because of this that Usher might be the celebrity that's going to testify against Diddy. And I honestly don't know, but that really doesn't make sense to me why Usher would mass delete all of his tweets if he's being brought in as a witness against Diddy. And after all of these allegations about Usher being spread like wildfire all over, the fact that he would mass delete these tweets because he's a witness really doesn't make sense to me. It's more like you were mass deleting stuff because you didn't want people to start digging and find something. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about Usher mass deleting all of his tweets after all of these Diddy allegations came out in the comments. Kanye told us everything about Diddy. So a couple years ago when Kanye was going on his rants, as everybody was calling them, he was literally telling us everything that we needed to know about Diddy. Kanye told us that Corey Gamble was a plant and he was first working for Diddy. And I can never skip the fact that Corey Gamble was at Kim Porter's house when she passed away. And mind you, Kim Porter did not share this house with Diddy. They were not even together during this time. And then Kanye said Corey Gamble went to Justin Bieber to be his tour manager after working for Diddy. We all know the rumors about Justin Bieber and Diddy. I don't even have to get into that. But it's super weird that you end up from Diddy to Justin Bieber. And then he explained this is when Corey Gamble got with Kris Jenner. And we know that Kris Jenner and Diddy have been seen together on multiple different occasions. Kanye even listed the names of people who had to do whatever they were told, naming Jay-Z and Beyonce and Diddy. He also named Meek Mills and Lil Boosie, and he said the reason that these people have to listen to whatever they're told and pull on Kanye's coattail while he was outing everything so publicly is because they unalived people. He even posted the text messages on his Instagram to Diddy. Didn't like our combo, I'm selling these teas. And at the end he said, come do something illegal to me, please. Diddy actually texted back kind of crazy saying, send me an address. Let's stop playing these internet games and don't feel threatened. You'll be fine. Just love. And during all of these rants, he was talking about people who got offed in the industry like Michael Jackson, Prince, and even Aaron Carter. And the rumor being spread is Aaron Carter was about to out everything happening in Hollywood. And weirdly enough, before Aaron Carter passed away, he actually said on Twitter, yo Kanye, let's talk man to man. And this was still during the same time that Kanye was being very publicly spoken about what was happening in Hollywood. And then recently, Kanye did an IG Live a couple months ago and literally said exactly what happened to Aaron Carter.
Pastor, they follow me to the fucking hotel. The nigga killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the Backstreet Boys sample. You get what I'm saying? Harley passing that pusher, your trainer. Harley passing that, Jay-Z.
And then Kanye literally mentions Jay-Z's name like he had a part in it. Everybody is saying that Jay-Z is going to go down right next to Diddy, and all of this shit with Kanye is so crazy. And if you add everything that he has said together, it's literally connecting the dots to what we're seeing play out with Diddy right now. But y'all let me know what you guys think about all this. Jaguar Wright told us that Diddy took out Kim Porter. And this is something that I've wholeheartedly believed since I've heard Jaguar Wright speak about this 4 years ago. Jaguar Wright alleged that Kim Porter was poisoned, and this was because she was writing a tell-all book about Diddy and trying to leave him. And then she said that Kim Porter's ex, I'll Be Sure, was put into a coma around the same time that he was writing a tell-all book. And what literally gives me chills is I'll Be Sure took to his social media after Kim Porter's passing, and he wrote that she was murdered. He said, I just found this footage from the morning that I learned of Kim Porter's and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. He said that Kim Porter just didn't check out all of a sudden because they were just at a Christmas special with Netflix for their son Quincy. And I'll Be Sure wasn't lying because a couple days before Kim Porter's death, they were at a Netflix event called the Holiday Calendar for Quincy. I'll Be Sure was being so vocal on social media that he knew that Kim Porter did not pass away due to pneumonia. He also said, she sent me this, life intimidating art. Art intimidates life. Now it all makes sense. She told me other stuff too. She was running. I said, call the FBI. After all this, I'll Be Sure was really getting ready to come out with a book, and then he slipped into a coma, and he took shots just a couple months ago, basically saying that this was Diddy.
We're going to be producing the I'll Be Sure life story. So hold on to your, and you really understand how I ended up in a coma. You're really going to need to call Homeland Security.
And now I'll Be Sure took to his Instagram today to speak more publicly again about Kim Porter's passing. He said, for over a decade and a half, I've been posting about, tagging random law enforcement agencies in the hope to protect loved ones, avoid deaths and tragedies that could have all been avoided. Despite all this, I have been ignored, ridiculed, and medically silenced to cover up these crimes that you are now aware of by a very aggressive PR team and a costly campaign to silence and physically harm me from exposing. It was only aimed to prevent me from sharing publicly the facts and the insights from Kim Porter that she shared with me during our frequent intimate conversations in her selfless attempts to save my life by sharing frequent plans to do harm and possibly ending my life. I'll Be Sure is sharing all of this because the new memoir that came out about Kim Porter, and he's actually saying that there was somebody in Diddy's camp like Kim Porter and Diddy and all of them, someone that was around them that took these notes that she had on her computer and her cell phone and edited them to make them look like something they weren't. He said, I am writing this post to formally request an investigation into the entire group of individuals who worked at or were around the residence of Kim Porter, including publicists who assisted drafting this. It has came to my attention that these persons were instructed to steal her computer and mobile devices which contained her original book notes. Original notes are distinct from this fabricated bullshit and the offensive pages being circulated on Amazon. A prominent artist Wright was saying years ago, and I'll Be Sure has been trying to say, and now baby, he is putting it all out there. Oh my gosh. Jaguar Wright also talked about how it didn't make sense that Kim Porter had 2 autopsy reports, and after the first autopsy report, the coroner actually stepped down and then he passed away. A lot of people felt this was really weird, and when you look into Ed Winters, he has also done a lot of other weird cases that we have a lot of questions about, such as Whitney Houston, Paul Walker, Tom Petty, Brittany Murphy, and Michael Jackson. And when Jaguar Wright was talking about Kim Porter's passing, she was also talking about how all of these people, including Kim Porter, all used to work with Diddy at Uptown Records. And she explained how it was super weird because all of these people passed away, except I'll Be Sure because he ended up in a coma, but he was supposed to pass away. But all of them passed away except Diddy. And if you didn't know, Diddy started out in the music industry at Uptown Records as an intern. He ended up being fired because he hosted his first event that ended up in a tragedy. And that tragedy was called the City College Stampede, where there was a crowd crush event that happened December 28th, 1991. This event was headlined by Diddy and Heavy D, where 5,000 people tried to pack into a gymnasium where only 2,730 people could fit, and then there was a stampede and people were getting trampled all over and 9 people lost their lives. If you go on YouTube, you can watch videos on this, but just viewer discretion is advised because not only was there 9 people that passed away, there was 29 non-fatal injuries, and this was horrific. Diddy ended up getting sued by multiple different families that lost their loved ones in this event because they were saying that Diddy oversold this knowing that he wasn't supposed to. This is what ultimately led to Diddy getting fired from Uptown Records, and I'm not gonna lie, what Jaguar Wright said, it is pretty weird that all of them people from Uptown Records passed away, and Diddy is the only one that nothing has ever happened to. The fact that Jaguar Wright shared this 4 years ago gives me chills, and now we have I'll Be Sure right now today speaking more than he has ever before, and you cannot convince me that Diddy don't know what happened to the beautiful Miss Kim Porter. But you guys let me know what you guys think about all this.
They did it on his bed. It's a 50-foot bed.
Because you've spoken about it.
I've seen it on camera. A huge white bed in P. Diddy's backyard. It's actually on camera.
a 50-foot bed under the moonlight in his backyard. And he'd be like, I'm not going nowhere today. I'm staying in the bed all fucking day. I got Rihanna in the bed, Jay-Z in the bed. I got everybody in the motherfucking bed. I'm staying in the bed all.
If you listen closely, he said that Diddy says, I got everybody in the bed. I got Jay-Z in the bed, and I got Rihanna in the bed. That's what he said, but it said kind of fast, but I could hear what he said. He said, that's what P. Diddy said. I got Jay-Z in the bed, and I got Rihanna in the bed. I'm effing God. And the thing is that when they said that allegedly he made, who's that man? Christopher Williams, he was so fine. Christopher Williams, the woman, the lawyer who allegedly walked on Christopher Williams giving P. Diddy head. Diddy had said allegedly, I'm God. I can make a man suck my penis. I'm God. That's what they said years ago when they talked about Christopher Williams having to do that for a record contract or something, allegedly. And now Orlando Brown is saying that Diddy says, I am God again, and says, I got Jay-Z in the bed and I got Rihanna in the bed.
I'm staying in the bed all fucking day. I got Rihanna in the bed. In the bed, I got everybody in the motherfucking bed. I'm God, nigga. That's what he said. I'm fucking God, nigga.
What's my motherfucking name? Jigga. Why does everybody think that Jay-Z has anything to do with this?
Sean will talk. That's why Jay-Z is running. That's why Jay-Z is nervous.
Beyonce and Jay-Z have been mighty quiet. They've been quiet as a mouse. And I'm not saying I want all these things to happen. You know, I like Rihanna's music. I like some of Beyonce's song. This is horrible. But they are quiet. They quiet.
Artists talking about it. So many other artists at the moment. The industry is squirming because they know Sean is loose-lipped. He will talk. I can share this with you. An executive from his organization ends up in my office, unannounced, in my office saying, will you help me? I'm not part of it. I run some of his brands. This guy's got tequila brands. He's got a ton of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people, not only connected, but also he probably raped a lot of people too, and they're on video camera with it. All types of stuff. You know, and even if you don't do anything, just being associated with him could bring down your brand. And of course, they're nervous.
One of these executives ends up in my office. I said, how did you get in my office? He said, I'm here. You've got to help me. I said, no, we're going to come after you. You know, you've been there. You've worked with him for 17 years. You know. They're jumping. David, so brazen that he shows up at my office to say, will you help me? I want to talk. I want to spill the beans. So this is going to crumble. Now, you're going to see Hollywood.
Sloan Bella said it. Cat Williams said it. Before 2024 is over, the age of Aquarius, y'all are going to see a lot. And people will say, when they say in the Bible, the stars will fall from the sky. Uh-huh.
Filming the show implicated. Wall Street implicated. Professional sports implicated. Remember, allegedly, I'll say allegedly, because they make us, right? Minors did attend these parties.
It seems like people are so adamant and stronghold that Jay-Z is going down, from the Sloan Bellas to the Jaguar Wrights. I don't get it. I don't understand why you guys want Jay-Z to go down so bad. There's nothing that's came out on this man, and I don't understand where you're drawing the parallel between him and Diddy and him being next. Now, this gentleman down here is Jacob Bunyan's.
Because they're all connected. And God knows what he's done. People want to see the demons get dealt with, that's all. I don't know what Jay-Z has done, but the truth will come out. We'll see.
he sat down with a news station because his sister was trafficked by the music industry. And so he's turned this into his whole life's mission. And he also mentioned that Jay-Z is scrambling and that Jay-Z is going down. And I'm like, where are y'all getting this shit from?
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. We shall see, right? We'll see what happens. All right. Give me a second. I'm going to play one last clip.
There is an old commercial that is showing a Diddy party, and all of these celebrities on there are talking about Diddy's freak-off parties. This commercial is absolutely crazy, and you cannot tell me that all of these people in Hollywood haven't known, just like Cat Williams said, about Diddy parties. Derek Jeter is the first one to start talking about Diddy's parties in this commercial, and look under his name. It says, The Art of Swinging. He goes on to explain how Diddy had a party for 5 days in a row on his private jet called Air Diddy, and he honestly doesn't see how he did that. You also have other celebrities in this commercial talking about Diddy parties. One of them is Nicole Richie, and it says next to her name that she had been to 4,500 and some Diddy parties. And then you even have Fat Joe in this commercial talking about Diddy's parties after the parties. Like, this shit is absolutely wild. I honestly don't remember this commercial, but it was used for the VMAs. Cat Williams literally told us that he's heard about Diddy parties for years and the people that go there, and he said Diddy likes to party and he always knew to tell him no, and how he was offered so much money for his virgin hole. I don't care what nobody tells me, all of this Diddy stuff was well known in Hollywood, and this commercial is literally showing it. I'm going to go ahead and roll y'all this crazy ass commercial about Diddy parties, and you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
For the next 53 seconds, we'll take an in-depth look inside Diddy parties.
Diddy once threw a party on a jet flying around the world. Now, it started on Tuesday and somehow ended on the previous Sunday. I don't know how he did that.
Now that I'm engaged, I've decided to slow down a little. 3 Diddy parties a week. Maybe 4. Well, not including the weekends.
Well, I remember one day we went to this Diddy party. Well, what happened? Lil Jon forgot his pimp cup.
Yep.
D-Rock went to Diddy and asked if he had a pimp cup Lil Jon can borrow.
Man, he had a whole bunch of pimp cups.
He had a pimp set.
It's hard to say which is more off the hook. A Diddy party or Diddy after party. Or Diddy after party, which is basically a pre-party for the next Diddy party.
The Diddy party legend continues tonight at 8 p.m. 7.
So look, you just saw that. Now, before I go, I want to share another company. This is Estelle Color Glasses. Listen, I love beautiful dishware. Who doesn't love this? Look how colorful and beautiful it is. And that is the founder, Estelle, on the left. And her company is absolutely amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, spruce up your home with beautiful dishware. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. I'm not used to seeing glasses like this. These beautiful, I mean, I've seen colorful glasses, but the variety of the colors she has a lot of colors I don't usually see, like this hot pink, this drink that, for your wine or your vodka. I love it. I love the pink one a lot. It's one of my favorites, actually. And I love blue, a pretty, beautiful blue. This is just so cute. I love it so much. And it's very affordable. Look, if you want to have, the dish for your beautiful cakes, your donuts, okay, your margaritas, all types of different stuff. And it's affordable. It's beautiful. And I've never seen a Black woman own dishware line that much. No, this is not something that's extremely common. Look at this. Look how beautiful it is. Oh my God. Look at the colors. Look at these beautiful colors. Seriously? Estelle definitely did the big one on this. I would buy up all of this. I love it so much. She has forest green. She has teal green. She has cobalt blue. She has brown, the yellow. Look at this mauve pink, this beautiful brown. Her glasses are stunning. Her wine glasses, vodka, everything, cake dishes, it's just beautiful. I'm not even showing you everything. I can't even show you everything. Seriously. Seriously. If you want beautiful dishware and glassware, please check out EstelleColorGlasses.com. You see it right on the screen, baby. Estelle, you did it. You absolutely did it. I'm not used to seeing a black woman-owned company like this, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. I love your glasses so much. So if you want to check her out, support and buy up some of her glasses, check out EstelleColoredGlass.com again. All right, everybody. So look, I have been talking for a while, a little bit longer than what I thought. I'm trying to find something I might not be able to. But look, I thank you all again for joining me. This has been amazing. I just hate the fact that because the live literally disconnected 3 times, it interrupts the chat, the live chat. So I'm hoping, now YouTube has made some updates. I'm hoping that everything still uploads. Everyone can see the playback, this chat, because I didn't even get to read everything. But usually because this video is literally almost 3 hours, it would take a while for the chat to upload anyway. So just leave your comments below in the comment section. Everyone can see. I can see what you're saying. Okay. Also, because of some curse words said in some of the videos, I have been up here for a while. You don't have to donate. I'm not sure if this will be a monetized video. Thank you so much for a donation that I did receive to my Cash App. Okay, if you would like to, you don't have to. I appreciate it. Cash App is right there. Thank you. Please get those likes up because it does affect the algorithm and helps our channels out a lot. So that is it. I got all the information I could was going on with Diddy. Okay, because I know some of you thought, is she going to talk about this? I've talked about it before, but just showing you everything that we know of so far. And even though they're saying the Kim Porter book is fake, personally, I think some of the stuff in there might be true. Some of it. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. And this is horrible. This is something, and it's not over. You will hear a lot more that's going down, and this has just been something to see all of this, and a whole empire, the demons being taken down, all types of stuff. And I always say allegedly because at the end of the day, we don't have proof for everything. We don't know everything. And the court, the judges, everyone, they'll have to release stuff so that people know what the truth is. Some stuff we know is true that has been caught on camera, like P. Diddy putting hands on Cassie. And a lot more of other stuff. The fact that Al B. Shore is saying what he's saying, I take it very seriously. Very, very seriously. So we shall see, baby. So I thank you all for joining me. Get those likes up. If you are new, subscribe, hit the bell, click all notifications, and I will be back very soon, maybe even tomorrow, because I got something to say about black people, especially D.L. Hughley going in on the legendary Janet Jackson. Okay, this whole Kamala stuff and people trying to drag down Janet Jackson. Oh, hell no. No, I got something to say, and I got some receipts with something. So I'll be back real soon to share my opinion about that. So you all take care. I hope you enjoy your day. Bye, everybody.